maybe to come home. We'll see. I'm not like, uh, not
Let's just celebrate.
celebrate that he asked the question.
Mhm.
And the other thing I'm celebrating is that my mom fell yesterday. She was down for 2 hours, and I found her when I went over for dinner, but she didn't get hurt.
We're not celebrating that she fell. We're
We're
celebrating.
celebrating that she didn't get hurt when she fell.
Okay. All right. I'll do mine while Trey's getting herself set. Look at this. I'm celebrating these. I don't know if you guys can see them.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Aren't they so?
What are they?
They're from David Yard. So I'm celebrating these because I love them, and also these. Hold on. I've just returned from our play date and with lots of flowers. Look at these.
Oh, wow. What are those? Camellia?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I'm celebrating flowers
Good.
and friendship. Yeah.
Good.
Friendship with lovely gentlemen friends. Okay. And I am feeling kind of, what is that feeling? This way. Like, I have a little in there today. I
don't know what means.
I'm needing to have some conversations that are
Trey's flashing legs at us.
make me feel a little so I've got that. I'm also
so edgy. You got some edgy going.
I'm no, that's not really it. I'm also feeling some grief around Lucas leaving on Saturday.
Where's he going?
College. And I won't see him till June. And someone's at the door. Hold on. Oh, it's the groceries. Okay. They can just hang out there. And I am feeling excited about some new possibilities.
Really? Okay.
All right, Trey. We're going to do our feelings first. Feeling 2 to 3 feelings as we're coming in. Just to tap us into your world.
You're muted, bub.
I was like, I wish I could just pass because I'm just really not in a good way. I don't want to talk at all.
Okay, you don't have to. But I want to encourage you to come as you are and let us love you up as you are. Look at me. Let me see. Okay?
You. Mwah.
That's the power, is in being vulnerable and being seen and receiving love no matter what. Okay? And you're welcome to pass. Okay? Would you like to pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Always welcome to pass. And we can come back to you. Jan and Katie, welcome. We're just doing our check-ins with our 2 to 3 feeling words on how we're doing coming in this morning. So, Patrice, you want to share yours real quickly?
What did I say? Resolute?
Resolute, fierce, and taking no prisoners.
Yeah.
Mine is excited, and a little bit of sorrow. Trey's passing. And so one of you lovelies who's ready, who just popped in, let us know how you're feeling today coming in.
I'm kind of bleary-eyed.
Early for Rhea.
Warm, and I'm here. I'm grounded.
Okay. Bleary-eyed, warm, and grounded. Jump on in.
Okay, energized, task-oriented, and ready.
Mm,
Oh, that.
Nice.
great. So feel everyone's different energy systems. Because we're weaving one, we're weaving it together with these words. Look at all that we have available to us when we come together. Yeah. Who's
Feeling rushed, having some tech difficulties on my end, but hopefully they're resolved now. And a little bit disappointed and a little bit uncertain.
an interesting combo? Rushed, disappointed, and uncertain. Okay, great. Everybody's in really different places coming in together today. Okay, so let's take a minute to share one celebration. I'm celebrating. Patrice already shared one. You want to share yours again, Patrice, so the whole group can hear?
Well, yeah, should I pick one or the other?
Pick one, just so we can, because there's a bunch of stuff to do today.
I'm celebrating that my son sent me a text message asking if I was serious, that if he got on medically assisted treatment, he could come home. And we'll just take it from that, see what that is.
Celebrating Dante coming to some senses.
Starting to question his options. Let's put it that way.
Great. I'm celebrating some beautiful flowers. I'll show everybody that I just got from my friend's garden at our puppy play date that we have every morning. And these are just yum. I don't even know what they are. I'm celebrating flowers.
I'm celebrating ever since I got back to the Bay, just being mindful of continuing to cultivate my women's circles. So I'm really glad to be here. Over the weekend, I had a birthday call. Last night, I had a sort of a women's group phone call where we talked about fire. Meditation. So I've, brought in all the creative fire that this group has been percolating and helped to stir conversation. It's been really good. I love my women's circles. So I'm celebrating that.
Me too. Celebrating you being here in our circle. Trey, are you passing on this one?
I'm celebrating my tea I'm about to drink. It's a beautiful Liabao from Malaysia, and it's for lungs. And I'm just feeling it'll be good. I've got a lot of grief. So.
Can you show us the tea?
It's called Liabao. So if you can see this, it's from Malaysia, and all the miners used to drink it before they went underground. So it's pretty medicinal, and it's really good for lungs.
Nice. And is it a black tea or a
Black.
Okay.
Black.
Lovely. If we were together, we'd be having a tea ceremony right now. So much to look forward to. Okay. Katie.
I'm celebrating. I just got off a phone call where I'm turning over control of some of my social media stuff to someone. I've never done this before. I'm going to give it a try. And it's to not have control of everything is scary, but crazy.
Great. Celebrating your growth.
Crazy. Yeah.
Good, Jan. Katie.
I am celebrating my body, which I've been working on healing for the past 9 months or so, and I feel like it's happening even though the pace is frustrating and my relationship with food is not where I want it to be, but I feel pretty strong, and so I just want to celebrate the health that I do have and the strength that I.
That feels good. Celebrating your beautiful wellness. I know that's been a journey. Okay, so we're gonna do some sort of the same format we've been doing: prayer, poetry, writing. We'll close that up, and then we'll end with a celebration. And I have us going through till noon. We'll see how the timing works. We might get a little 15-minute break in there. Or more if we feel like we need it. We'll just check in at the end of the first segment and see how we're doing. Okay. All right. So I've got our Tosha prayer for today. And this is her, can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay. This is her prayer for a new cycle. And I've posted it. You guys can join or you can just listen. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows that the perfect unfolding is always occurring, even in times of invisible transition. Let me trust that all unseen growth will be known at the right time. Let me have faith in your plan. May I welcome this new cycle as it slowly births. Let me bless its unfolding. May I feel worthy to receive the highest and know my own value. May I be an uplifting force for the good of all. Let me trust that all unseen growth will be known at the right time. That's the key piece in this one. And of course, as we have seen and heard from each other, this is not linear. This is not old, new, new, old. This is all, we're dying and being born all at the same time. So, it's pulling it out and saying we're in a new cycle it's really just for the purpose of highlighting that aspect of what we as women are constantly in, which is our biology dictates that we're constantly in this cycle of death and rebirth. And there's so many layers going on all at the same time. So just feeling all of the multiple news cycles and ending cycles that are concurrently happening. And the depth of our being in that place where we're constantly the creatress of it all is really quite amazing. So part of it is just like really staying aligned with that creative power in all of its, I have a visual that doesn't come to words easy, but with all of its facets. And so we'll do a little poetry because. So this one also speaks to that. So this is called The One Deep Inside Your Chest. Just notice what that title elicits. The one deep inside your chest. Step back and watch your body being a body. Watch an arm move through space. Watch an ankle turn. Watch your body as it likes things or doesn't. As it gets scrapes and bruises. As the skin darkens and falls into folds. Step back to the perimeter of the theater and watch your body on the stage. Recede to that quiet knowing. For now, I am associated with this body. Not inside it or one with it, just associated with it for a time. Casing, only casing. Be kind to the casing if you like. Put oils on it and nourish it and move it to keep it stronger for a time. Never become it. There, only suffering. Can you feel the one deep inside your chest who has existed forever? Who has made 1,000 journeys? Who feels like a comet in the dark? That inner filament? I know. No one ever told you. I know. It wasn't the name you learned to write at school, but that one is you. That one is the real you. So that's Tara Morgan. So we're focusing in on the one deep inside your chest that goes beyond this body, that spans across time and space. And we've got Kira here. So just hi, Kira. We're going to just keep going, but welcome. And let's shift our awareness to the inside. Just feeling all of the beautiful ways that we have held each other, all the kindness, all the offerings, all the witnessing, the listening, the tears, the smiles, the knowings, the compassion, the love, the joy, the shared sorrow. Just feel all of the things in our cauldron. Feeling all of the weavings that we've done. For just this time, feel yourself held by our combined hearts, our combined power, our combined root system. So even as you're focusing on your own, just feel the support of everyone else. And in those places where you might be struggling or having difficult emotions, or even struggling to open to the beauty, just relax into the holding of the group. Feeling what it's like to be in a trusted, resourced container of wisdom from other women. Just feel the longing for that. The gratitude. As you just bring your awareness into your body, into your heart. Taking some slow breaths into the heart. Noticing what's there today. Notice where the heart's open and where it's constricted, where it's neutral, pulled back, coming forward. Allow it all to be there. Even the ugliness that you might not want to have here, let that be there too. Bringing the awareness into the belly, that power center, feeling the other women in this group in their power center, perhaps going a little deeper here, being a little more connected than you have been. Just feeling the aliveness of the belly. Opening and listening. So we've got heart and power, and now we're going to go into our ground. So moving your awareness, keeping that heart awareness, the belly awareness, and now we're going to go into the grounding. So just settling into the ground, that connection with the earth, the Great Mother, that place where we can all connect. Just noticing how your root system is feeling today. Noticing if you need to go deeper into your grounding, or if you want to fill it in with more roots. Consider how our roots might weave together in order to hold each other stronger, like the redwoods. Breathe up that earth grounding from the deep core of the earth into your body wherever it needs it. On the out breath, release anything that's just ready to go without even needing to know. So we're breathing up, grounding and support from the Great Mother. Noticing where it wants to go, and then on the out breath, just releasing anything down to her. So we're in that womb, just as we are, circled together. We've got our altar and our fire. And in this place, calling to you all the parts of yourself that you've met in these last few days together. So just invoking that creative power that we met. Noticing how she comes to you today, that creative force. Noticing that new part of you that is emerging. However that comes today. Could be what you've already seen or felt or something totally new. Inviting the future self to join you there. Even if you only have a whiff of her or a pattern of her. Or perhaps the full part of her shows up. Call in all of your beautiful pieces of writing, the spirit of all of those pieces. Seeing your own creations. The spirit of all the sharing and the conversation. Just let yourself be completely surrounded by your own power, your own beauty, your own creative manifestations. And just settle in, look around. Notice all of the other women with their creative power, their beautiful creations. And just soak in it for a minute. This too is possible. This too is a reality. And then from that supported place, go ahead and invite yourself to come forward. Call forward that part of yourself that we've been cultivating, inviting, touching with every bit of work we've done. So we're going to invite that part in that you are calling forward. And just go with whatever arises. Could be an aspect of what you've already seen. Could be something totally unexpected. Be willing to be surprised. Invite her in. The part that you are calling forward for this next iteration of who you are. And place her in that circle as well. And begin to ask her to reveal herself. Perhaps she opens up a beautiful robe and shows you her tools, or maybe she tells you something important. Ask her to reveal herself. As you continue to welcome and invite her, allowing yourself to have wonder, to be in awe of her. And if it feels right, you might even bring her into your body, feeling what it is like to fully embody her. As you listen and attune and bow and receive the part that is coming forward. You might even offer yourself to her as an open conduit. Allowing for grace, allowing for curiosity. And I'm going to do some drumming here. And the focus of this is just to keep coming into deeper relationship. So we're going to journey into her field, understanding how to honor and work with her, or play with her, or create with her. Okay, so just try to hold her with you as you begin to transition from where we are here back into your space, back into your home. Just bringing her with you. Coming back to the breath and just resting for a minute. Feeling those roots in the belly and the heart and everybody else connected. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back, and I'd like for each of you to share just 2 or 3 words about the nature of this part of you. 2 or 3 words to describe the nature of what you just discovered. And just feel free to, I think it's working just to hop in, so feel free to come on. Welcome, Jillian. Okay, so who would like to start?
I'll start.
Great.
At first, I was having a very hard time coming up with who I was calling forward. And then all of a sudden, this like fire being, very powerful fire being came and flew up into the like part fire, part bird, red. Came whirling about and kind of then just landed back in the center, like strong, almost super powery, like a little like stop giving any fucks kind of thing. Then she seemed a little scary, and then all of a sudden, like her counterpart came, who is sort of a blue watery thing. Then they did this dance, and that was kindness and compassion, and that they can coexist, strength and kindness.
Well, just that. Okay, beautiful. So fire, water combination, power, balance with compassion. Well, Phoenix rising type being. Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Kara. All right. 2 or 3 qualities of the one who you're calling forward.
So I kept wanting to call forward more of like the business person. I was forcing it a little bit, the person who can make things happen, but it just kept getting pushed away with the creative person saying, we got this, the creative idea, we got this, just trust this and the rest will fall in place.
And what was the nature of the power, the nature of that connection with that part of yourself?
What do you mean nature of it? I'm sorry.
I feel like when you make contact with the creative part.
Oh, it just starts flying open, the ideas, visions of future, visions of, I like to say, almost like you're unpacking a suitcase and you throw you get to a hotel room and you just throw stuff all over the place. It's almost like it's just littering with ideas versus keeping it all tightly packed in a suitcase, not going anywhere.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you, Jan. So yours is a creative force. Okay. Hop on in.
I'll go. This is Ria. So what I got was that this part of me is, she came forward and she was sort of merged with that creative firewater that I connected with in the first day. And she was just very matter of fact and doing her life, but she was fully alive. Like there's not any part of her that isn't present and engaged with the world. And the difference is that she wasn't hiding, and she's also not as much preoccupied with her grief.
Mm.
She's there. I mean, you know, when it's up, she's with it, but she's more in the present and forward. And then I had a little bit of resistance to this, but she seemed to be in the earthly material life. So there's that. A little bit of,
And when you say in the earthly material life, you mean in ordinary reality, or?
well, it's, you know, it was about getting stuff done and in the stuff of the, yes, third dimension. Not so much with the guides or with, yeah, that's how she came forward anyway. And she was kind of like in her life and doing it, but she wasn't, she was matter of fact about it. She wasn't showy about it. But she was fully there and not afraid. Fully there, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Sounds very helpful. Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. Patrice or Trey or Katie.
I had a harder time connecting because I was mostly just like sort of feeling everything in my body that's happening right now. So I was sort of staying with that. At the end, what came was a feeling that that part of myself that's coming forward has a lot of calm to her.
Mm-hmm. Great. Calm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. Thank you, Katie. Patrice?
It's not so much calling forward as it is going back to the essential person, the evening star, Astarte. And there was a lot of dancing under the moon and the stars with my future self and with her. And, you know, thoughts, of course, about what does this mean? This text that Dante said kept intruding. But I feel like it's not calling forward, it's becoming, it's unwinding.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's part of the process too, right?
Unwinding to be the core of who I am.
Okay. Trey, you want to share? Are you getting there?
Mine was more visual and this. I was on a hill she was calling me on a hill in Hawaii, very, yeah. And it was really about simplicity, and the life that I want, of green and in a tropical environment and ocean. So I don't know if it was like this Hawaiian goddess. She was very content, or it was me. I'm not figuring it out yet. It was like I was being called. But anyway, it was very content and simple.
Beautiful. I wouldn't worry about if it's you or not. Just be in the questioning there and let it reveal itself. Mhm. Hawaiian goddess is next. I love this for you. Okay. All right. Jillian, do you want to say anything right here about I know that you weren't here for the journey, but would you like to share any aspect of anything you might be feeling now as we're all sharing?
Sure. Though I was not there for the journey with you, when you asked the question, I feel like I can drop into some what just rises, because I'm so in this process. Some answers, as soon as you said the words, some stuff came rushing in. So it's just the same stuff that's been coming up, which is groundedness, expansiveness, resilience, strength, and also joy and beauty, and then this sense of connection from within, as opposed to there's a way that I want connection, but I often experience it as needing other people to engage with me in a certain way in order to feel that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not serving me or my relationships or the people around me. So that sense of, sub-act, just constantly, I am a glass of water being poured into the ocean. That's something that one of the many tools I go to whenever I'm feeling off. I just picture that and just remind me that I'm a small part of all the things, that there's something bigger being held. So that just continually, anyway, this is what I'm stepping into is embodying, is staying connected to that in a robust.
Bring it on.
And if
can't wait.
Just as one aside from today, yesterday was some intense stuff with my family. And this morning my kid got up and I was like, do you want to go to school? And they said, sure. And they fricking went to school.
Awesome.
My child is in school.
What happens when you take care of yourself?
Not in the house. One day at a time. This has happened twice before this year, but it's incredible. So I just want to share my, what did you call it? My celebrations. And I was very calm about the whole thing, but it's a really big deal. They were ticking on the way in and had all kinds of, all their funky issues, but
it's happening.
Dropped them off.
Okay. And that really goes against your belief that if you take care of yourself, that they're not okay. So that just got completely turned on its head.
That's not totally my belief, but you're saying there's an element of that.
It was earlier. Yeah. Okay. So great. Thank you all. I hope you can feel the richness and the fertile ground from which all of this is arising. There's some real commonalities among what's coming forward through everyone. And also, you can feel each person's individual flavor coming through too, which is really amazing. And what could we do if we were all gathering and supporting each other to bring these parts of ourselves forward, right? So much richer in having that support and being witnessed in this place. This is the beautiful world that I think is possible. Call me crazy, but this is part of the beautiful world that is possible. In my mind anyway. So, okay, let's continue. Anybody need a potty break? Are we okay? All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of writing like we've been doing, and I'm gonna start this one with a poem. This is called Ancestors. It's by the poet Ada Limon. And this is continuing along the theme of what we're moving from, what we're moving to, we're moving with. So I've come here from the rocks, the bone-like chert, obsidian, lava, rock. I've come here from the trees, chestnut, bay laurel, toyon, acacia, redwood, cedar, 1,000 oaks that bend the moss and old man's beard. I was born on a green couch on Carringer Road between the vineyards and the horse pasture. I don't remember what I saw first, the brick of light that unhinged me from the beginning. I don't remember my brother's face, my mother, my father, but later I remember leaves through car windows, through bedroom doors, through their classroom window, the way they shared and patterned the ground, all that power from roots. Imagine you must survive without running. I've come from the lacing patterns of leaves. I don't know where else I belong. And I'm going to share a little bit more. Well, let's let that poem work its magic around the question of what am I coming from? What am I bringing with me? What am I moving towards? Ada Limon, her poetry is very beautiful. And I can't remember which book that's from. I've got it somewhere here. You guys should see how many books are on the floor. And so I'm going to share just a little teaching, and then we're going to do some writing. This is actually from the Bible. So, when I'm sharing different text, take it, just see if you resonate with it, that's great. If not, you can set it aside. So this is in Genesis, and it's Genesis 32. And it's when Jacob and Esau have been apart and they're getting ready to come together. Jacob had left Esau because of his anger and rage. And Esau is coming towards Jacob with 400 men. And this is going to be the first time that they have come together. And Jacob is terrified and he's preparing his men and for what's coming because he believes that they're coming to kill him and his people. And so he's praying and he's teaching and he's preparing for this meeting with his brother Esau. And he says to his men, when Esau, my brother, meets you and asks you, these will be the questions. To whom do you belong? Where are you going? And who is ahead of you? So in this Bible story, there's this sort of knowing that in order to meet what is coming, we have to understand where we're coming from, what we're moving to, and what we're bringing along with. And that's what we've been cultivating here as well. And you guys can read more. It's actually a really nice parable. So our prompts are going to be from that. And I'm going to pop them in. We're going to do a little writing. So you can work with the one that just came forward to write for her. You can work with these prompts. Or you can do your own thing if there's something different arising. So let me put this here. Okay. So let's do about just pick one or pick a few or pick a conglomeration, whatever you're needing to flesh out a little bit more. And let's do about 5 minutes of just writing from this place. So either from the one who you just met, just writing from her, or using some of these prompts or your own. Let's mute ourselves. Can you guys mute? I will too. All right, let's spend a minute wrapping up. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So we're going to break out into your groups for a little bit. Let's see. Kira, is there somebody that you haven't shared with yet? Or have you gotten a chance to share with everybody? Okay.
Trey, I haven't.
Okay, great.
Um,
Okay, perfect. Jillian, is there somebody that you haven't had a chance to share with yet?
I think Ria and Katie I haven't shared with, right? And maybe not Kira. I think those three. I think I've been with the other three all the time.
yeah, I was thinking Jillian as well.
Okay.
I've shared with you, Jillian. We were in a group, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry if I.
No, it's fine. I just.
Okay. So, that just screwed up. Katie and Patrice, have you two shared? Can't hear y'all.
What did you ask me?
Have you and Katie shared?
Katie, I don't know. Have we?
I don't think we have.
Okay. And then Ria needs to go here. All right, so let's do 15 minutes and share anything from this morning's work that we've done. Your writing, what you found, insights, dreams, thoughts. All right, so here we go. It's 10:05, so we'll come back at 10:20. And when I send the little note, do you guys get that? Okay, great. I don't trust this at all. Okay, here we go. And then you guys just disappear. It's the weirdest. Is everyone? Yeah. Coming back.
Hi.
Here we are.
What?
It's just the weirdest experience sitting here and watching you all go. It's just, and then you come, I don't know. It's like separation anxiety kicks in. I'm like, where are they?
Where are my little chicks? Bring them home.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
Come visit us, can't you?
Pardon?
You
I've
just have chickens in the rooms, can't
tried that a couple times and it's a little disruptive. It's like people are in their thing and then I think in a normal setting, not be.
Right.
Okay, so I'd love to hear a little bit about what you're all discovering. So if anybody wants to share just anything, and then we're going to do a couple more things, and then we're going to close this out. Any insights, ahas, yum yums, challenges?
Yeah, the challenge is to stay focused on myself. All this other stuff is brewing.
Good.
I feel like we're all.
This is a focus. It's coming up a lot for you and some other people.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. And you're doing it. You're still here. But yeah. Okay. Do you want any help there? Or is it just a matter of being disciplined and putting into practice what you need to do?
I can always use help. I never say no to help there because it's overwhelming, you know.
Mhm. Okay.
But it's life.
Is it possible to turn the incoming information off for the next hour and just give yourself an hour to not be in it, to not be managing it, to not be on call?
I can try. I can try.
15 minutes.
Yeah, because I mean, yesterday when I didn't check on mom, when I went over, she was on the floor. So,
Okay.
you know,
All right. So you have to find that balance between how much you can let go and how much you can be present, which we all are working with, right?
right.
Okay.
I've got the baby monitor.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. It's going to be all right. And you deserve to have some time to yourself, for yourself, without having to be completely plugged in. So they're doing their thing no matter what you're doing. Both of them. So, okay. Anybody else? Thoughts, shares, ups, downs, arounds?
One thing that came up with Ria and me is this sense of being called to be the great mother or Mother Earth, or, you know, there's something around connection, to, deep connection to that energy.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That's what's wanting to come through you both. Mm.
There was just a lot of references to she holds everyone.
Sorry, I don't know how to get that to stop. My apologies. Okay. Anybody else?
I was realizing just through the process of talking it out with Patrice that it was really was hard for me to connect in the meditation and in the questions. And but eventually, through talking it out, I realized that maybe part of what was going on was that in the meditation, I was thinking a lot about like how I want my future self to be, rather than just waiting for like what's coming forward for me and connecting with that. Because I was having a lot of anxiety in the meditation and just feeling like, no, I just want to be with what's here. I don't want to like project a future and then align with it. And so I want to go back and see
Ground,
where,
right? You,
what?
because you also missed some of the building blocks to where we were today.
Yeah, that's the thing that we talked about.
Okay. Okay. And, just knowing what I know about you and your practice, it makes sense that where you're ending up is also a place that I think we probably all work with. It's like, how much of this do we allow to just come through us and just be and flow with, versus how much do we structure and create it, right? And to me, that is like a really important question to live into that doesn't have an answer, a final answer, but it is that sort of balance point between the masculine and the feminine, or the yin and the yang, or the flow and the structure that we're always trying to navigate. So we want to have some kind of structure. It's like there has to be a bank, there has to be a structure for the river to flow through. But sometimes the structure takes a wild turn, right? And takes us in a direction we don't know. Sometimes the current coming through there is wild and rushing. Sometimes it's really smooth. But it requires both. And there's like that, it's like that hold on loosely place. Isn't that a song? Sammy Hagar song, sorry.
It is 38 special, actually. Yes,
Who is it?
38 special.
Okay.
Man,
I'm showing my age. Now I want to sing it.
I recently got like a download of like some directions from Ram Dass when I journeyed to him, and it involved holding on loosely. So I kept hearing the song. So I went and found it. Super cheesy song. And I just listened to it a bunch of times. It was very helpful. I recommend it.
Oh, that's funny that you've had that come in too. Okay, maybe I'll listen. So how can we be both a creator of and open to the creative force, right? There's that, just you don't want to over architect it.
And I don't want it to come from like just will, or like there's so much anxiety coming up for me just this morning that I don't want that to be the place that I'm, because that feels like a more controlled like place. And so I don't want that to be the place that that can inform my decisions, but I don't want that to be the architect.
Yes, I understand. And the future self is considering, well, I guess just a little thing about that. It's more like a North Star that we're architecting towards. And then we're making adjustments based on how the current reality meets us, right? And how it feels as we relate to that place. And because that came from our deepest heart's desire, and we're offering ourselves up to that future self, there's a lot of play, right? In that process of becoming and calling ourselves forward. It's such a fine line right here. And, I see people who get way overstructured and then they can't let it in. And that's like that manifesting world where you do your vision board and it's that, and you got to like hold that. And that's the only thing. No. Okay. And the other place is just like, I don't know. I'm just going to flow along with life, and nothing ever gets architected towards my deep desire. And, we have representations of that in all of you. And I mean, I certainly have that too. And then there's like the energy we want to bring to both of those processes. So, we can all probably, well, I'll just speak for myself. I can get very directive and just like, this is happening, and it is happening. And there's a really good time for that, right? There are times for that energy. It's not when something's birthing though, right? And then there's other times where I can get too much into the open surrendered place that it's just like mush, right? So there's a lot of discernment in this creative process. And I think that's where you are. It's like, oh. So let it be fun, fluid, play with it, re-architect, right? This is not something that's set in stone. It's a really good inquiry though.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything on that topic? I feel like it's something that we could all really juicy into. This is where offerings practice can come into, right? Kira, did you want to say something?
Just that I relate, but just the anxiety of the unknown, and yeah, I relate.
Great. What's
I
that? Something you or whatever.
I think I have a question.
Mhm.
Because when we're doing the writing and the question of what are you carrying with you, got this like fabulous, assortment of things that she's carrying with her. How do I access that?
Can you ask me again?
So, the writing prompt of what are you carrying with you? So how do I access the things that she's carrying with her? She's carrying hopes and dreams, courage, strength, unity, joy, love, creativity, music, dance, wisdom, compassion, grace. How do I access those? Like,
What makes you think you're not already accessing those?
how do I access them more consistently and more, how do I stay on point? I guess it comes back to that.
Well, I guess that's where I was going to go with you. Is like this is where I would do a commitment to those things and a daily practice that includes them. There needs to be discipline, right, and staying connected to those things. Without it, then you won't be cultivating it.
Right.
So maybe pick a few and set up your daily practice around bringing those things forward. It's like she's got a little quiver.
Yeah. Exactly.
Catherine, this is Jan. Hi.
Hi, Jan.
So, hello. I've really been working on finding those anxieties and so forth that keep me distracted from doing the other good things. And if I ignore them, they just kind of keep begging my energy. And if I give them the energy, it's like a toddler. If you give them the energy and go into the anxiety and acknowledge it and feel it in your body, and it slowly starts to go away, and then it clears a lot of space for the good to come forward.
Okay.
That's what I'm finding.
Great. And that's okay. So you're bringing up an interesting observation around how do we take care of the parts of ourselves that aren't quite on board with this, right? So there's, in my experience, mind in this kind of model that I'm birthing, there's there's many potentials, but so one is to turn towards those things like you're saying, Jan, like a loving parent, and do loving kindness practice, bring them in, acknowledge them, offer them loving kindness, and remind them that, they can transform. Okay. And then there's a second piece, which is getting that inner no to those things, which is, was my like sort of flippant remark about, sit them in the back of the bus and give them a video and keep going. Or a combination. So, having that strength of your own inner no, and you can get a guide right there. Like I use Kali for that. Just like, no, we are not engaging in this, just like you need to do with teenagers, right? Or, anybody. So this is the inner no that needs to get set up, or it's a combination of both often, meaning sometimes you have to first do the kind part and then come in with the will that says, no, we aren't participating this way. And so you kind of have to find the right place with those things. And if you've done a lot of healing on this. Like most of us know these parts of ourselves really, really well. Like I know the part of myself that I know my inner critic so well. I've done so much healing on that. It's not going any away. It's part of me. But so for me, I have to say no there. But if like something vulnerable came up that was new, I wouldn't start out with that strong no. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, some people can tend to live into those negative, you know, like can let those other parts take over. And I agree. I was always a very sneaky parent. I was always like, hey, if I give them 5 minutes, I get 2 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so I basically just feel it and then kind of give it permission to go fast. I don't have time to spend too much time on it. But if I don't acknowledge it, it stays there and nags and undermines my other energy and efforts.
Great.
So you're right. Combination.
You're finding the way, just
Mhm.
like you do with your own children.
Oh, yeah.
And it evolves, right? It evolves. It's a work in progress. There's not one answer to how
Right.
we.
It's developmental, like children are developmental. As soon as you figure out a child, they change.
Absolutely.
So,
Perfect.
exactly.
Perfect. Wonderful wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Okay. Any other observations or thoughts or?
I went a little off topic.
Okay. That's allowed. I'm not a good rule follower.
I'm not a good rule follower in a lot of ways. Well, I was thinking about like, where do you come from and what are you bringing forward? And I was having this I lost two very important people. Well, one was a dog and one was my aunt, who both were very important, the most important people to me. Anyway, so I was thinking about like what happens to a soul after death.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to bring them forward with me, but I also want to allow them their own journey. And I was pondering on can a spirit still be your guide and there for you, and also be possibly reincarnated into a body? Can it live in this multi-dimensional way? I don't know what I believe. I haven't.
Tell me what you think. What was the exploration there?
Well, that was, basically I was saying that like having suffered so much loss lately, I want them to have the opportunity to reincarnate or go on whatever journey they have, but I also don't want them to completely leave me, which feels a bit selfish. So maybe that's where that hope for a multi-dimensional, that a spirit can be in multiple places at once. And I said, I want them to come forward with me. I also want to be greeted by them when I pass. And I also want to meet them again in the next life. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, each person on this call could give you a different answer of their concept about what that is. It is unique. It is personal. It is not for someone else to define for anyone else. Okay. That's how I feel about it. So, I could tell you how I feel about that and how I would work with it, but I'm really more interested in how you want to work with it than what I think. I would work with the attachment and just keep offering the attachment up. It's a very normal thing to want those people. You're not going to lose everything they've already given you, right? But it's very normal to want to hold them. So from that human place, because I want, those who have passed to be as free as possible, which is also part of your prayer for them. I heard that. I would be working on my attachment to anything that I need. And by the way, I do that with human people too. Like, my son is leaving for college and I just feel like I'm going to die, like in days. That's a massive attachment. That's not serving him. He doesn't need a mom. He doesn't know, but energetically, he doesn't need me here like my baby, right? So I'm working to just be like, all right, here he comes. This is wonderful. I'm offering up this deep love that I have that's creating this attachment. I would do the same thing for someone who's passed.
Yeah. And attachment is such an interesting way to approach it, because I think I was very tethered to time and space here physically and emotionally, because of life circumstances with them. And now I feel like I can be wherever, I can go wherever, I can do whatever. And that's terrifying. And so like clinging to them maybe a little bit more still in that.
Yeah, I would do an offerings practice right here. Just like get quiet, call in your guides, your higher self, and just take them and your love and your relationships and just offer it to higher guidance. Just start there. And you're going to immediately get, because you just got the place in you, which is like that fear of what's next. Right. So then take that and offer it. Right. Just keep do just a really basic offering practice here. And you're going to keep revealing. Right. We ultimately want all beings to be free and separate and in their own karmic patterns, in their own path, right? So that they can evolve in the way that's best for them. But I mean, that's really easy to say.
Yeah.
Really easy to say. And it's not so easy to practice. I mean, look, we all are having it. Look at Patrice and her son. I mean, I'm not criticizing that. Jillian and her child. I mean, this place is ripe. Mm-hmm. You're not alone.
Yeah.
I would do prayer. I would do some prayer there for some.
And I don't want to hold them back. Like I want them to run free, whatever their path is.
Any observing here for Kira? Any just insights, thoughts?
I want to say there's also just the natural grief that just comes up, right?
Yeah, I got Lulu's ashes back yesterday. So I'm, it's the next phase of it is here.
I don't know if this is anything new, but it's, just really trusting yourself. I mean, I have some of these same questions still, but I've been through versions of this myself where I've come to some answers for how I feel like I can hold it, what makes sense to me, what really resonates with me about it. And so you have those too. Just to Catherine's point, and so I'm not sharing mine because it doesn't matter. Although I actually have found it really helpful to hear other people's perspectives sometimes. But especially like I've been in a situation, being in community, like I'm part of the Ram Dass community. And when he died, there was like a big shared experience of what it was like. So I was able to like be going through it with other people. And so anyway, all this to say, you can look for cues as they help you, like the flip of a coin, not because not because the heads actually is the right answer, because it helps you get to your feelings and help you get clear on what was right for you. That's what I mean by that. And you can just trust yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Sorry I feel like I took the conversation off.
We're practicing taking space as women. It's fine. Don't say that. People get to take. We deserve to take space if we need to. Okay. We deserve to be quiet if we need to. Okay. Is it? We're going to have a little break.
A short question on this. The parts of where is it? The thing about, let me find it. I lost my spot. What I'm carrying, something about carrying with me, where there was a bunch of, what am I carrying with me? And I had all these things that I'm carrying with me. A lot of them were the things that I'm stepping into and drawing on, wisdom and strength and vulnerability and love and resilience. But in there was fear. I was like, that's part of what I'm carrying with me. Mm-hmm. And it just felt right, because there's a certain way that fear's been coming up, like that guide, when you, like that version of like the gremlin or whatever you guys called it, came up for me. And I was being resistant to it, but I kept being shown. I checked in with my guide, like, is this okay? And all the ways it was happening. And she kept saying, just trust it. And it was this thing that that it's fear that transforms into something else. And I've been shown, like, don't shove it away. So there's a certain way it's on the list, and it's not because I'm not choosing to claim fear like I want it, but it's more like creating space. I don't know. It's just on the list, and I just wanted to know, does it make, like, the fact
It's
that
real.
it's not like a desired thing, can that be on the list of what I'm carrying with me?
Absolutely. Moving forward into the new and expanding, if you're living on that growth edge, you're going to have fear. There's wisdom in it. And so part of it is like, how do you allow the fear without letting it derail you?
Right.
Honoring the wisdom that's in there, right? Honoring the wisdom that the fear is bringing forward, but not letting it take up, it gets a seat in the back of the bus.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're not kicking it out.
No.
Right. That's
Okay.
a good point. Like some of the stuff we're bringing with us, we may not love bringing.
Okay.
I'm pretty bummed when I see like my ex-husband is still in there. It's like, I don't want to bring that with me, but there's still work to do.
Yep.
So there it is.
Thank you.
Okay. So anybody else? Okay, so we're going to come back together. We're going to spend like 15 minutes doing an exercise, and then we're going to close our circle. So I'm thinking, do you guys want to do a 15-minute or a 30-minute break? We have till noon. Do you want to take 15 or 30? Do people need to eat? Do people need to move?
It's fine for me.
Is everybody saying 15? Okay, great. So it is 10 of, let's come back at 11:05. And then okay. So I'm going to ask you guys to present yourself to the circle as the part that is emerging, or share a piece of any of the work that you've done or writing. So we're going to have a little ceremony where we are able to honor each of ourselves. We'll have about 15 minutes to create that. It's not meant to be stressful. There's no right or wrong. So I'll just leave that with you while you're on your break. Just think about how you would like to present yourself as this part that is coming forward. And I'll answer more questions about it. Jillian, you look like you already have one.
I mean, I just frequently need to hear things twice. Present yourself to the circle as the part that is emerging, or share the part.
Or if that doesn't feel comfortable, so I'm always going to give options. I want people to be relaxed in any space that they're in. In my ideal world, we would be all witnessing each other in the new place, having a chance to like have our training wheels on and say, I'm the great sage who is going to bring forth this body of work, and here I am, and here's my words, right? If that's not comfortable, or you're not ready, or it feels too new, like that's totally fine. Pick a piece of writing or a reflection to share so that you can be witnessed and held. Something that, it doesn't have to be super vulnerable, but allowing people to see you in a way that you might not normally do. That makes sense? Okay, so you can ponder it, but I'm going to give you some time when we come back, and then we're going to use that to close up, sadly. I hate endings. Okay. Now we've talked too much. So let's still do 11:05. All right, see you guys in a bit. How's everybody doing? Are you guys feeling ready? Can we come back together? I'm sorry, I lost track of the time. So it looks like Trey is still working, and maybe Rita. You're good? Okay.
Good, I was just thinking.
So, great. All right. So let's come back together in that place where we're in our bodies and connected to each other, feeling our hearts connect, feeling all of our power come together, our groundedness, having all of our resources and all of the parts we've been working with, all the feelings, all of it, just our full selves fully present and ready to witness and participate. And we'll go ahead and invoke that sacred fire that just keeps coming through. We've also heard a lot about water, so we can allow water element to be here. And that altar. And would anybody else like to place anything in our circle, in our sacred space? Any quality, any aspect that they'd like to add? All right. So we have, how many are we? 8. No, not me, 7. And we have, so let's take about 3 minutes each. Does that feel? I think we can do it in 3 minutes. And who would like to start? Who would like to be witnessed as we leave the door open, bridging where we are into the next part? So we'll have this and then we'll have a quick share at the end. So know that those are 2 separate things. This is just really intended for you to be held and seen and to claim what's yours or to share a piece of your writing. Yeah, should we go? Jillian, you ready?
Yes. I really want to move around, but it's hard with the computer. I want to dance and roll about, but I'll try to be within the frame.
You can.
I am Starshine. I can be as big or small as it's needed. I can be quiet. I am the mother of the universe, holding all things. I am as deep as the deepest place beyond imagination. I am the muck. I am the roots. I am the lotus. I am the light that goes up to the highest point and is unlimited, available to all because we are all one. I am playful. I am strong. I am loving. I am abundant. I am lightness. I am strength. I am the wind. I am the ocean. I am the earth. I am you. We are all. There are no limits. I am boundless and limitless, and a being of love and light. I move in this body, but I am not this body. My container can expand to anything, holding us all safe, seen, loved. I am a being of light. doing God's work. I am God. I am Goddess, as are you. Om. Om.
Catherine, you're muted.
I have said thank you, Starshine, and thank you for sharing. Okay. So we're witnessing you stepping into that place. In it, fully in it. All right. Who would like to be next?
I'll go.
And you all don't have to go. You know that by now, right? None of this is meant to force anybody into anything.
I'm coming forward as the rightful and knowing tender and cultivator of my soul's garden, rooted and blooming, strong and kind, learned and evolving and growing, connected and fluid, loving and loved, following agency and openness, living peacefully, joyfully between the dualities. And I made a little drawing here. It just says, to thy own self be true.
Can we see the drawing?
Oh, it's just a, it's not really, it's just a little,
A mantra.
little mantra.
Beautiful. We see you in all your claiming. Okay.
Really know myself. I want to just fully just feel like I know myself.
I wish that for you. I'm sure we all do.
Thank you, guys.
Look at Jan. Okay.
I should probably just go now, just to because it's mine. Didn't have time to write it or think it. I'm just sharing that I want to step forward as a storyteller and a keeper of nourishment and witness to creativity. And yes, that's it.
A storyteller coming forward. We see that. Thank you, Jan. I want to hug you guys. So want to hug you. Okay.
I can go.
Great.
Mine is kind of just like a free write, so it's a little bit all over the place. But I'm coming forward. It's kind of the qualities and a few of the structures, but a lot of the qualities. strong, financially empowered, with great access to India, whether that's visa or OCI. Open, in deep alignment with myself, in healthy relationships, deep in my sadhana or spiritual practice. I see this great quality of rest in everything, nature-based living, in a community that feels right for me, aligned with just what's needed. And this kind of, in India in my life, I felt this real simplicity with like washing all of my own clothes in the bucket, and only having like a single burner induction stove, and these things that made my life experience very tactile and very rhythmic. And so finding a way to have that in my life here, even with all of the comforts that I appreciate about the Western world. Strong and healthy, oriented to the seasons, supportive and there for the ones that I love, physically when I'm able to be, and in other ways when I'm at a distance. Accepting that sometimes what feels right in my life is not always my preference or what feels good. Loving my conditioning, all of it, even as I know that it isn't who or what I am. Letting all of the dream play out as it needs to. Depth, feeling myself one with Arunachala, this hill, as all ideas of self and other have been seen through. And then the last note that I was reflecting on is that I also am stepping forward into greater self-awareness in this specific area of the like studies that I take on. I'm a triple Gemini, and I get so like enthusiastic about learning things and joining different groups and practices. And then I get there and I'm like, what? This isn't like where I'm going. Why did I sign up for this? And so just like I'm keeping notes for myself so that I can remember where like the threads are that I want to be pursuing, and I can still appreciate and enjoy the offerings that other people are bringing forward, while I know that maybe it's not like the direction that I'm deepening in myself.
Sounds like an amazing life coming forward, and I love the letting the dream play out because it needs to. That's a good prompt. That's a good writing prompt right there. We're just witnessing you and wanting all of that for you. Every single word. All right. Who is ready to claim or share? Or pass. Let me know if you want to pass.
I can go. Where I'm at right now is I'm just figuring out who I am in this earthly realm. I know who I am inside, and I'm just trying to figure it out in this SF life, and I just want my story to go forward without these chains around my neck, which is how I feel right now. So I just wrote a little something, when I get off balance, which I really am this week, I just try to connect back to Africa. So I just wrote a little, I don't know what you call it, something. It's with your prompt, to whom do I belong? To whom do I belong, they asked. I belong to myself, lady of the land, my bones deep in Africa. They bring forth a lineage of ancestral wisdom. I am listening now. the drums, the cattle crawl, the mischievous Tokelosh spirit hiding in the round roundabout. The dirt floor holds me, the roaring fire burns, the bones rattle. I sip on seawater, purging the karmic bonds as the herbs dry, ready to tell some stories of where my future self must go.
Please stay there. Witnessing your power when you connect to yourself and your land. Beautiful. Okay. You're also amazing. I'm just blown away. Okay.
So, Kira, is it okay if I go next? I don't know why I just asked that. Never mind. Is it okay? If
I already went, so
Trees.
go for it.
Oh, okay. So what I'm being called to do is just read all the prompts as like a stream of consciousness, and it might take longer than 3 minutes, but it feels like that's what wants to come.
We can make time.
I'm going to start with the day 2 prompt and go to where we just ended. Old dreams giving way to new dreams. She began writing about the past, the old knuckled pig lady at the market, the rich fecund smells of the old world she took as her forever home, this place that knew her intimately, that had welcomed her as a new soul into its fold, the burning leaves, the rain on the warm soil, smoky barbecued meats hanging in rickety push carts, trees' sweetness during ripening season. She belonged here amidst the brown-skinned, clear-eyed, tongue-clacking grandmothers and aunties, the warm hands of her caregivers, her circles of caregivers preventing her from dashing forward into oncoming street traffic. Here she was safe, protected from all things foreign, strange and dangerous and unknown. This was the colorful womb of her childhood. The pen stopped a moment and she reflected on that which she'd written. That world was still hers, but it belonged to herself from many, many, many lifetimes ago, it seemed. She looked around physically and temporally. She was far from there now, no longer a child. And although she could close her eyes and conjure up those visions, the smells that assaulted the senses, her present reality seemed antiseptic and rigid in comparison. Her heart sank at the loss of that light, of that memory, and yet she knew time only moved ever forward and not back. And what is available to me now, she asked herself. And she closed her eyes and asked her muse, that one guide standing at the temple altar with the waters flowing downstream, the fire in the center. She knelt at the something. You've taken me away, plucked me from that dream, that wonderful dream. I was warm there, now I feel cold. I was understood there, and I had place. Now I feel placeless, rootless. What is this heartless, cold world? Where am I to go from here? The muse held her gaze and said nothing. A breeze rustled, and the hem of the muse's tunic responded by slowly fanning to reveal a small leaf at her feet. The woman picked up the leaf and turned it over, seeds implanted on the underside, poked up and made dots like braille under her fingertips. She ran her fingertips across the dots, trying to sense what this gift from the muse meant, and then the vision was gone, and she was left in the temple alone. She drifted back to waking life, her apartment mostly bare, sat with the image of the seeded leaf in meditation. She sat still, quiet, and ready. What shall we plant, she asked. What shall we plant, she heard. The voice was her grandfather's and grandmother's. They held the leaf between them. It was her choice now, she realized. What shall we plant? I want to be famous for following my inner spiritual directive, my soul fire, even if it tells me to let it all go, leave it all behind, and start something completely different, other and new. I want to be famous for facing irrational fear and saying no to her. I call myself forward with courage. Having drunk the wine and danced the maypole of youthful play and merriment and wildness, having seen the consequences of my choices to not listen, to not heed the inner call, stay irresponsible for my life, and now knowing better, knowing how to still play with the deep magic and have wonderful chaos and blissful order, how to trust in the rich tapestry being woven before all of us, and my thread weaving into its place, rich with story and adventure, allowing her to be threaded through the divine great mystery. I belong to the stars, the moon, and the deep night sky. I come from the rain, I belong to the birds. And as I slowly appeared here on the earth, I see my body, the deep heartbreak and ever-present hope of Mother Gaia. I carry the stories of humanity. I am the one merged with the creative water fire. She sees me and I see her. I allow the creative path to be revealed. I am tuned in, listening deeply, aware of the opportunities that call me forward to apply the medicines I carry for the earth. I am allowed to create for myself as long as I honor and hold the Dharma of my life as central to the path I walk. For when I turn away from Dharma, the magic leaves, and I falter. I am this creative water fire. I am coming forward to breathe new life into stagnant air. Open the windows, welcome your life. Just do it. Thank you. Bam. That feels good. Thanks for cultivating that thread, Catherine.
The body of work you just witnessing your beautiful words and images. Ria. All right. Last but never least.
So, Astarte is my true name, the evening star. I belong to myself, to the sea and the sky, to the moon and the stars. I belong to the universe, to the creator of all that is or ever shall be. I come from deep within, where I have lain dormant, waiting for you to awaken me from this deep sleep. I'm going to the future. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but thither I will. I carry hopes and dreams, courage and strength, unity, joy and love, creativity, music, dance, wisdom, compassion and grace. I am fierce and playful. I would rather be infamous than famous. It's far more fun.
Okay, I'm going to be watching you. Witnessing all that you're all claiming. What beautiful words. What beautiful humans. Such intention, such devotion, such willingness. Let's close the circle. We'll do, I'd like to hear how you're feeling as you leave. So we'll do one round of that, and then we'll do one round of celebrations, and we'll just leave there. The materials will be staying up for a while. We'll send an email with the mundane later so that we don't have to break this container. So just taking a minute to tune back in on the inside. Really bathing in all that we've just witnessed, heard, felt, shared. And then let's all just share 2 or 3 words of how we're feeling right now as we close our circle.
Expansive, grateful.
Okay.
Inspired and excited to see all that we're about to cultivate together.
I'm feeling grateful and grounded from this morning's retreat, and also still in my body, anxious and insecure from earlier in the day.
I'm feeling a bit worried that I can't live up to it, but also inspired and hopeful. Which is very much me.
You'll have all the support you need.
Thank you. And grateful for all you ladies. This has been very moving.
This is Jan. I feel calm and trusting in the space that we've created here to go forward.
Thank you.
I'll go. I feel some relief, release, and huge gratitude just to women who show up in circle. We're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Catherine.
Doing it. I love that. Yes. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Thank you.
Grateful to all of you. Thanks, Catherine. Poised, ready, and a little bit anxious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I am very hopeful that human beings like this exist. It makes me feel really hopeful for our future. I'm really inspired by all of you. It makes me want to do more. And I'm also feeling this thing, which I will call homesick, because this is the place I love to be. And this is what I want to do all day. And so there's this sort of longing for this, even as we're leaving. Let's close with our just one thing we're celebrating on the way out, and then we'll conclude. Could be anything.
Knowing the core me.
Say it again, please.
Knowing the core me.
Soon as my cat was scratching on the door, I'm gonna celebrate Poppy. Poppy, Poppy, and she's just been amazing this year for me as a source of strength, and I just love her so much. So I'm celebrating my cat. She's very naughty.
Hold her up for us so we can see the whole thing.
She's a shelter cat. She's 9.
Got a white belly. Oh.
Yeah. She's a brat. She's a princess. She's all of the things. She's not the nicest cat I've ever had, but she loves me. So yeah, I'm celebrating her. And animals in our lives, you know, if just they're a gift.
Taking time for ourselves.
I'm celebrating community and feeling the net under me.
I'm celebrating all of the amazing support that I have in my life. And I'm also celebrating something that I wrote about earlier, that I'm doing what feels right, even if it doesn't feel good or like what I want or wanted.
I'm celebrating the determination that we all have to be here and to be new, and this new world that we're all birthing together as new people.
I'm going to be celebrating the writer in each of you that amazingly came through in these bodies of work. It's pretty phenomenal. The words and the way you put them together and the beauty, just on the fly. It's so I'm celebrating your willingness to participate in that part of this and create this beautiful, I think Katie said tapestry. I really do feel like we've been weaving this beautiful thing together that is just, it's magical when that happens, and when everybody's thread makes it better and makes it more beautiful. And of course that's what we all want, right? To be unique, beautiful expression of the divine. And when we combine those, something absolutely incredible happens. So I'm celebrating that we were able to do that, and we were able to be safe and open and real, celebrating your realness. And I can't wait to see where all this leads us. So we must say goodbye for now. There'll be more. Should we all say, open our thing and say bye-bye all together? You're going to all disappear.
Sometimes I've ended things where we're kind of touching the screens on either side of us. I don't know.
Oh, good idea.
Just like a way to have like a group hug.
How do you do that?
Just kind of touching the sides. Yeah. So like I can feel your hand, Catherine. And
I feel like we're in a circle. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you soon.
so great to meet almost everybody. I knew a couple people.
Yeah, same. And those that are in this circle that are struggling, know that I have you guys in my heart and my prayers.
Mhm. Likewise. And, you know, feel free to use that community space to update us on what's going on or ask for support. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be open, but it'll be there for a while. Share poems. Maybe we should publish a pulling ourselves forward. All right, lots of love. I'm going to stay open here until you guys feel. I'm just going to sit here.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye, Trey. Bye, Kira. Bye, Jillian. Bye,
Bye, Catherine.
Ria.
Have a wonderful day. Give Odin scream.
At the party. You
Last
You probably are, aren't you?
one. I'm always the last to leave. This was
right.
great.
Good. Thank you for being here.
Thanks
Good luck
for
with the next part of the Lulu journey.
Thanks. It's okay.
You feel good having her?
I do. I'm just glad she's home.
Mhm. Good. Good. All right. Be well.
Okay, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you.